the ladies and germs and bacteria of the Unity form. Hi, my name is Genevieve. I'll be your host today. How are y'all doing? I can't hear you.
Yes.
And also, hello to everyone who's joining us at home. I see you. So please stand if/as you are able.
We're gonna sing "We Who Believe in Spirit." This song is more than 50 years old. It's by Bernice Johnson Reagan, and it's still appropriate, sadly. But I'm gonna sing it. Here we go. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Let's let it move. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. No, no, no. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Freedom. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Let's try justice. We who believe in justice cannot rest. We who believe in justice cannot rest until it comes. Justice. We who believe in justice cannot rest. Justice. We who believe in justice cannot rest until it comes. Let's try joy. We who believe in joy cannot rest. Oh. We who believe in joy cannot rest until it comes. Joy. We who believe in joy cannot rest. We can't rest. No, no, no. We who believe in joy cannot rest until it comes. Let us pray.
And so we take a moment as we turn our attention within, as we know the truth of our opening statement, so let us affirm it together. There is but one presence and one power in my life and in the universe, God the good, omnipotence.
From this quiet place, let's try "We who believe in peace," and hold it, and then let it grow. We who believe in peace cannot rest. We who believe in peace cannot rest until it comes. We who believe in peace cannot rest. We who believe in peace cannot rest until it lovely. Please be seated.
Hello and welcome, whether you're here in the room or joining us online. And if you are joining us online, we always love to hear where you're joining us from. So if you wouldn't mind typing that into the chat, we do a little call out at the end of the service. Also, if you have any prayer requests, go ahead and enter that in there. So let us begin with our mission statement. We are a welcoming spiritual community, thriving and extending beyond the heart of Seattle, celebrating, inspiring, and deepening our individual and collective spiritual journeys. And so it is. Yeah, there's still a slight change in there. Some folks keep going to but it was different just a year ago. So I want to just invite anyone that might be visiting us for the first time. If you wouldn't mind just raising your hand, our ushers have a welcome packet for you. Any first-time visitors? No, all returning. Oh, a few in the back there. So I think our ushers are coming in. There's a group moving this way. I can see it. They're near the doors. It's coming. So there they are. So we have a few first-time visitors. So welcome packets back here, and first-time visitors. I think there's 2 or 3 people at the back there. And so I have just a couple of announcements to call out. So we have a few things happening after the service today. There's a heartfulness meditation. It's for beginners or experienced meditators. It's going to be in the meditation hall at 11:30, and there's no cost for that, so all are welcome. Mary Kemp is leading Fiber Arts, and that's also starting 11:30-ish. 11:30-ish. And then we have a world religions discussion happening up on the L3 Terrace, and so I'm co-facilitating that with Taylor Richards. And so it's open to all, very informal. That also begins around 11:30. So you have time to go up, get some coffee and tea, and then join us for that. And now Karen R. has an announcement.
Hi. I'm Karen R. I'm the office manager here at Seattle Unity. Thank you. So I just want to know, how many of you out there love Seattle Unity? Woo! Oh, come on. You got up early on a Sunday morning. You're here. Tell me again. How many of you love Seattle Unity? All right. And how many of you think that if our SLU neighbors knew more about us, what we stand for, and our community, they'd line up right out the door? Yes. Yeah, exactly. Well, I think so too, which is why I'm pleased to announce our open house in South Lake Union. We've got a ton of activities planned. We've got snacks, we've got DJs, we've got a pet wedding. Congratulations to your 2 dogs, by the way, Hazel and Toby. Yeah. We've got a tour of activities to lead our guests throughout our beautiful new building. So to make this a success, we need your help. 1, mark your calendar for Friday, August 8th. Come and have fun. Bring your kids, bring your dogs. Let me know you're going to be there to help. Sign up upstairs after the service. I'm going to be there for 15 minutes. We're going to do a quick little prep session. If you can come and help with that, that'd be great. So come and join me, and let's show off our Seattle Unity community and have a great party.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Karen R. So 2 to 4 on Friday the 8th. And just a last-minute addition is Andrea Carino is going to do a sound bath in the meditation hall.
Oh, lovely. Nice.
So we got DJs and sound bath. We try to balance all needs and desires. So for those that are joining us online, we have a chat prompt, a little question for you. I think it's coming soon. Maybe.
Oh, the screen is
Oh,
dead.
the screen
Pray
is
for
down.
our screen.
Do you remember it?
I do. It is...
Who melts your heart?
Who in your life opens your heart the easiest? And I asked this in rehearsal to Diane. Anybody have a guess? Her
Who
dog, Toby.
opens
Of
your
course,
heart
our
the
dog,
most?
Toby. Of
My dog
course.
Toby is always my answer.
Yes.
Okay, so those online, go ahead and type that in. Who opens your heart the most? And those in the room, please stand and greet one another.
Here we go. Stay standing as you are able. We're going to sing I Release, but many of you who already know this tune know it has a little intro at the beginning that I sometimes throw to somebody and they gospel sing it up. But today it's more like, you know, sincere folk indie from my friend Rose Rom. Here we go.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all by myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I know if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you got to let it go. And this is what you got to say. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Sing it again. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more trouble, no more strife. Through my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Nice. Please be seated. For first timers who encounter that song, it's a lot of lyrics. So it can feel weird of like, why do all these people know this? Because we've been here for years. We're entering into a more contemplative part of our service. And in the center of our unity service, and every unity that I've served in, which is a number of them, we take time for a meditation. So there'll be 3 to 4 minutes of silence that we share together. And I encourage you to get comfortable in your chairs right now so that it's easy to share that silence together. And we'll have a chant that we sing together as well, and that's an important part of the room. I think the official term for it is entrainment. It means when we're breathing together. And that's a healthy thing for our brains as well. But the first step comes through a reading from my friend Monique Lowe.
Good morning.
Can you hear me?
There we go.
Okay, at first I couldn't hear my talk back here. I'm reading the Daily Word. Calling upon the indwelling presence of God. I am courageous. Sometimes the world feels like a scary place, and I may feel ill-equipped to take my place in it. At those moments, I remind myself I have more than enough courage to thrive, no matter the state of the world. I call upon the strength and power of God and claim those divine attributes as my own. I need not look outside myself for fortitude because I already have everything I could ever need as a child of God. As I meet life from this place of power, I place the conditions of the world in their proper perspective. I draw my courage from spiritual awareness made stronger through prayer and the use of affirmations. I repeat, I am strong. I am courageous. These words flourish in my mind and become the truth of my life. Each one helps the other, saying to one another, take courage. Isaiah 41:6.
I am here in the heart of God. God is here in the heart of me. Like a wave in the river and a river in the wave. God is here in the heart of me.
Let's try that together. I am here.
I am here in the heart of God. God is here in the heart of
Like a wave in the water.
Like a wave in the water and the water in the wave. God is here in the heart of me.
You like harmonies? Try this.
I am here in the heart of God. God is here in the heart of me. Like a wave in the water and the water in the wave. God is here in the heart of me.
You'll start to hear echoes. Jump in on those if you like.
I am here in the heart of God. God is here in the heart of me. Like a wave in the water and the water in the wave. God is here in the heart of me. Like a wave in the water in the wave.
I
am here in the heart of God. God is here in the heart
ran away from the sun, ran away from the rain, hid away from everyone, ran away from the pain. Now I'm so out of breath, and I'm so scared to death. I'm not running anymore. I'm not hiding anymore. For the first time in my life, I will stand my ground with my heart unbound. Here I am. Oh, here I am. What's a life covered up? Day and night, not to fail. Like a life without love is its own kind of jail. What a waste to regret what I haven't tried yet. I'm not running anymore. I'm not hiding anymore. For the first time in my life, I will stand my ground with my heart unbound. Here Here yes. Throwing the game just to make sure that I'd never win. Kept counting myself out again and again. So nervous, running in circles till no one could know where I'd been. Now maybe today is the day that I let it all in. Maybe my broken heart's no original sin. It's time I made up my mind. I'm diving in. I'm not running anymore. I'm not hiding
Let's hear it for Aaron and the home team today. So just a reminder that 11:30 is the Heartfulness Meditation. It is a worldwide nonprofit organization. It's free and it's for beginners and advanced meditators. So I invite you to give yourself the gift and practice of peace through meditation. It'll last about an hour, and then you can get on your day with a more heart-centered than before. So you may need it because today's talk is meant to challenge you and deliver some uncomfortable truths. I tend, and Unity tends, to stay away from charged current events, and yet I don't believe that this is serving anyone. Yet to not know or acknowledge in community the state of our affairs, I believe, is no longer an option. So this month our focus is on the heart. And the word core, C-O-U-E-R, means heart, is where the word is derived from. And it's also where the word courage comes from. Core is heart, courage. And the heart is not only soft and expansive, but the heart is strong. And when we are in conflict or tackle difficult subjects, it's best to do it when heart-centered. Now, this sanctuary is a sacred place. And while we are in this place, I think that we're called to operate from a different perspective. I know that, I've always said that, especially being in the front, is to like stand at the top of a mountain and see the whole picture and call out the highest and best. And so this may seem like an aside, but it isn't. I was raised in Chicago, and I was basically raised with four-letter words. And for me to fully express myself, I can just let it out like crazy. But I never do it from the pulpit, you may notice. I don't do it in this room. And part of that is, and I know we do have other events in this room, but it's to keep this energy in here pure, is to keep it clean in a sense. And I learned this because when I first got to the yoga ashram, like I've shared with you quite a while ago, I was in my 20s, and I was fresh out of Chicago, and I ended up being this Swami Shankar's assistant. I worked in the office, and I would make mistakes, and I would just let go with a bunch of words. And Swami Shankar would say, "You can't say that while you're here." And I said, "Well, why not?" And he goes, and he explained the whole thing about the energy. And I'm like, "Okay, what am I supposed to say then?" And he said, "Just say Om Namah Shivaya." So I'm like, fine. So every time I'd make a mistake, it'd be like, Om Namah Shivaya, so. So last week, I focused on heart math and staying in the heart. And I'm finding it very similar to the heartfulness meditation, again, that happens at 11:30 because it focuses on the heart. And there's a couple of images that I'd like you to hold on to while we move through this talk. And it's the idea of the ocean, which we've kind of already sung about. But imagine you're at the top of the ocean, you're just sort of floating, and there's waves and there's wind, and you're just kind of all over the place. And then you move to the bottom of the ocean, and you sit at the bottom of the ocean, and it's silent, it's quiet, and you can look up and you can see all this, blah, 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 you can see all the waves. But we can always return to this space at the bottom of the ocean. So last Thursday, there were, or was it Friday? I don't know. There were protests in honor of John Lewis. Thursday. And it was called Good Trouble. Now, John Lewis, for those of you, I'm sure we all know, led the March on Washington in '63. He believed in causing good trouble, disrupting the status quo on purpose with moral clarity and spiritual courage. He led sit-ins at segregated counters. He was a freedom rider. And probably most importantly, he led 600 marchers across the Edmund Pettus Bridge and was attacked by state troopers. TV cameras captured the violence, which woke up the nation, and it led to the passage of the Voting Rights of 1965. He served 17 terms in Congress. So anyway, I went to the protest. I don't know that it was actually a protest. It was more of a remembrance, really, of John Lewis in Lake Forest Park, which you can imagine is pretty sedate. It's Lake Forest Park. And, you know, most of us were old and, you know, we're standing there with our signs. But I was really touched by the Lake Forest Park police officers. Now, again, it's Lake Forest Park. But they were so sweet. I have no other way to describe it. You know, they wanted to pet Hazel. I noticed they were bringing water to people who were standing out in the sun. And it was an inspiring time to be there. We were mostly just stood there in silence. But I found that it was both sad and inspiring. It was inspiring because it's good to be surrounded by those of like mind, and I could feel our oneness and connection, even though none of us talked to each other, really. I don't know what the beeping is, but if somebody could stop the beeping. Just, we're good. Stay where you are. Just stay where you are. Just needed to know what it was. I could feel the presence of John Lewis, and I could feel the oneness and connection. So that was inspiring. But I was sad because I wondered if, other than making us feel really good, did this matter, what we were doing? Did it change anything? So I began to research this whole idea. And I came across a man called Tad Stormer. He is a faculty member in Denmark. And this is what he talked about, is this idea of resistance. And he said, resistance is not protest. That distinction matters. Most Americans confuse protest with resistance. The difference is that protest asks and resistance refuses. Protest stays within the boundaries of what the system will allow, but resistance shatters the boundaries. Now, Henry David Thoreau said, "What do I owe a government that commits injustice in my name and uses my resources?" Author Arndt warns us that the greatest danger isn't cruelty, it's the quiet, bureaucratic normalization of cruelty. And systems, Stormer says, systems that demand obedience don't actually ask you to commit atrocities, they just ask you to stop asking questions about it. Resistance happens when you say, I will not be what this regime requires me to become, and that act is what preserves human dignity in the face of oppression. Yes. So you're like, yeah, but wait a minute, didn't Jesus say turn the other cheek? And didn't we talk about Gandhi and Martin Luther King last week? So Stormer says Gandhi and King practiced powerful protest, but it was grounded in moral appeal. And this idea that nonviolent witness could awaken the conscience, it's the idea that nonviolent witness can awaken the conscience of the perpetrator. King called it soul force. And their goal was to change the system by holding a mirror up to it and exposing it so that it lives up to its own values. Soul force assumes the system that produces abusive authority has a soul worth appealing to. It assumes the structure is broken, but it's fundamentally good and is salvageable. Gandhi and King were fighting to purify the systems that they lived in. So let's again talk about resistance. He says most resistance isn't visible. It happens in whispers and delays and evasions and minor acts of defiance that collectively wear down power's ability to maintain itself. It forces power to work harder to maintain control. So telling the truth is resistance. Resistance is a boundary enforced by a single defiant word, no. It comes when you realize that you're being asked to participate in your own erasure or someone else's. We live in a time when people are being encouraged to protest, but only in ways that don't threaten anything. So what does this have to do with love? Sometimes love says no. Again, the word courage. In 2 Timothy, we read, "For the Spirit of God does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline. In Matthew 21, Jesus entered the temple courts and drove out all who were buying and selling the benches of those selling doves. It is written, "My house will be called a house of prayer, but you're making it a den of robbers." Jesus took action, and disrupting the everyday structure of the temple is what he did. This is not protest. This is sacred refusal. This is love that says, no, not here, and not in this house. He didn't wait for permission. He didn't wait for a committee vote. He said, not in my Father's house. And that's power, that's divine love. It disrupts, it protects, it resists what desecrates the world. Rosa Parks practiced resistance when she refused to give up her seat on the bus. Harriet Tubman didn't wait for permission to help enslaved people from escaping through the Underground Railroad, nor did the Quakers. So we can't change anything if we don't know what's going on. There have been massive violations of rights and things happening, and it's hard to take it in because it makes your head spin, it makes your heart hurt, and maybe some of us can take a piece of it, but how do you take all? So that's why I want to go back to the ocean, because I want to share some uncomfortable truths. So let's just take a moment, and again, imagine that you are floating on top of the ocean. I invite you to turn your attention within as we do this. And just feel the waves, and it's the news, it's the things that are happening, it's your life, it's all the stuff you have to do. And now I invite you to imagine that you're going to the bottom of the ocean, and you sit there, and you hear the silence. And as we practiced heart math last week, bring your hand to your heart. Think of someone or something that makes you feel love and appreciation. And I invite you to breathe to and through your heart right now. And when I tell you the things that are happening, I just want you to stay in that bottom of the ocean and just imagine the waves at the top. But you are quiet and you are centered. So here's a rundown of what's happened recently. NPR, PBS, Stephen Colbert canceled. DEI setbacks, a cut to foreign aid. The creation of Alligator Alcatraz ICE facility in Florida. Stay in the ocean and breathe. Targeting of non-criminal immigrants. Restrictions on international students and foreign aid. Breathe. Remember, it's just the waves. Cuts exceeding $1.2 trillion over a decade from Medicaid and nutrition programs. Tax cuts that benefit corporations and wealthy individuals. Breathe. Defense spending is up $150 billion. Adds $4 trillion to the national debt over 10 years. Taking a breath. $170 billion is marked for border security and deportation enforcement. $29 billion directly to ICE for hiring agents. The ICE website says, this is a pivotal moment in our country's history, and your experience and expertise are vitally needed. On behalf of a grateful nation, we proudly call you to serve your country, to join Operation Return to Mission. You get a $50,000 signing bonus. It would say that would pay a lot of bills, it would help your kids through college, help your parents. Another breath. So DHS surveillance gets $6 billion, including towers, facial recognition, fingerprint readers, and social media monitoring. ICE will become the most funded federal law enforcement agency, surpassing the FBI, the DEA, the ATF, and Marshals. So I invite you to come back up to the top of the ocean for a minute. All this is happening at a speed that's very difficult to comprehend. So let's take a break. I want to share a story from Facebook that Nola put up, and that is, you know, Nola lives in West Seattle, and she's got a great view of the water, keeps her door open, and a pigeon flew in and promptly went into her bedroom and went to sleep overnight. It woke up, she fed it. She found out her pigeon had a little thing on his leg. So apparently he's from BC somewhere. So she called them and they said, no, you keep him. So she said, she's got this pigeon walking around her house, and she got a cage, and he said he's having none of it. So all this is happening, and then our lives are happening, right? Playing with our dogs, playing with our kids, cooking amazing meals, hanging out at a gorgeous park, being here together. I had dinner with my son-in-law and daughter, and my daughter was saying how smart Hazel is, that she just is aware of things that other dogs aren't. And Kelly said, yeah, you know, she knows, she has 24 toys, and she knows the names of most of them. And my son-in-law said, Hazel has 24 toys? All right, go back to the bottom of the ocean. And again, stay in your heart, because you know, we hear all these stats, and it's sort of like, nah, it's all out there, right? But I want to share a couple of stories to ground these in. And one is from The Guardian, a woman named Jasmine Mooney. She's a Canadian actress, entrepreneur, and she ended up getting picked up by the border guards because her 3-year work visa had been revoked because I didn't have proper letterhead on my paperwork, she said. So she decided to go to a border in San Ysidro, California, with the paperwork showing that she's got this new job. But instead of just taking it, she said what the Guardian says, what happened next was something that she couldn't have imagined in a million years. Officials not only rejected her visa, but threw her into a series of holding cells, shuffling her and a slew of other women among various facilities across the Southwest into inhumane conditions. She said, I was put in a cell. I had to sleep on a mat with no blanket, no pillow, with an aluminum foil wrapped over my body for 2.5 days before she was released. This is a Canadian. Saiju, he's 55. He came to the United States when he was 7 from South Korea. He's an Army veteran. He served in the Army and was shot while in the military, suffered from PSDT, and as a way to cope, he did drugs, got arrested, went to jail. But he's been sober for 20 years, lives in Hawaii, he's raising his kids, and then he got the notice that, guess what, you're leaving. So he self-deported to South Korea rather than getting detained. And he said goodbye to his family, like, I don't know when I'll ever see you again. Another man arrested was from Afghanistan, and he was a translator for the US military. If he gets sent back, he will surely be having to face the Taliban. These accounts are coming in fast and furious. But the one I really want to focus on, because there's so many, is from an article in Vanity Fair and, by a woman named Rumeysa Öztürk. She's a Turkish national. So in March, she was at Tufts University, and she's a doctoral student. And she was out walking when she was grabbed, handcuffed, and shoved into an unmarked car. She was shackled by her legs and her hands and transported to Louisiana. She had criticized Israel's involvement in Gaza through an op-ed piece, which is probably why she was targeted. And she said she watched as countless people arrived from a nearby plane, all shackled, hand, feet, and waists. She was in an immigration detention center where asylum seekers, refugees, and immigrants, people who are escaping conflict, war, oppression, and violence, are taken and find themselves stuck for months or years. Now, there's always a blessing in everything. There's always good in everything. And her unexpected good was that her cellmates, which were, I think, like 20-something, were kind. She said they taught her how to do the laundry, you know, how to keep her stuff. She was offered cookies and tea. And it speaks to the resilience of the human spirit and the connection and bonds that women hold with each other. She said this: over the next 6.5 weeks, I found myself immersed daily in love, beauty, resilience, and the compassion of these women. We found ourselves trapped in our own individual nightmares, but found comfort and relief in one another. In one small room, a world of possibilities unfolded. It was transformed into a therapy space, a beauty salon, a hairstyling center, a Pilates studio, a medical center, a massage room, an interfaith temple, and an art studio all at once. We tackled long-standing disputes that have plagued our nations for years between Armenia and Turkey, Russia and Ukraine, and we bonded over our shared experiences, which spanned geographies from Colombia to Iran and Afghanistan to Honduras. Each conversation turned into a group therapy session where we would gather to open up about the grief we felt regarding the harsh realities and dehumanization occurring in a godforsaken, for-profit ICE prison in America, a place we had all come to pursue our dreams. Among us was a singer, a violinist, a Pilates instructor, a visual arts teacher, a devoted mom, a grandmother, best friend, someone's fiance, someone's wife, someone's daughter. We felt horrified, invisible, helpless, and dehumanized, and all we wanted was to be seen as human again. We were there for each other, providing shoulders to cry on, prayers to cling to, and hugs filled with compassion. Many of them are mothers who have lost their children even into the foster care system. Friends from Senegal enveloped me in warm hugs, and friends from Cameroon shared the recipes of their favorite African dishes. They held on to their dignity and humanity while making conscious choices to be caring and loving. They uplifted each other, staying strong even when the circumstances were unimaginably challenging. And I learned from them that even in the most inhumane conditions, human dignity cannot be stripped away from human beings unless they decide to give up. I learned from these strong women what solidarity looks like. She was released after 6 weeks, on bond. So this is the world that we are living in right now. It's not like, is it going to happen? No, it's happening. So when love says no, it's not turning away. It is anchoring itself at the quiet floor of the ocean where the surface thrashes. It is core, it is heart, it is courage. We lean on the wisdom of people like John Lewis. Again, Jan Stormer said, resistance happens when we will say, I will not be what this regime requires me to become. And that act is what preserves human dignity in the face of oppression. So the work now becomes personal. What do I refuse? What do I speak? What is the truth? And what is mine to do? What is ours to do? It's to practice heart meditation. We are unity students. Let your heart witness what's happening and then transmute it. We refuse to become numb, divided, and suspicious. Our no makes space for a greater yes. Yes to human dignity, to the migrant's name, to law grounded in compassion, and to sacred space unmarred by exploitation. So again, I'm going to invite you. I know I'm a record, but try the heartfulness meditation at 11:30, not as an escape, but as a strategic spiritual resourcing. Warriors of compassion must refill the well to step back out. So let's close with a prayer. Divine love, steady our breathing, widen our compassion, sharpen our discernment. When we are tempted to numb out, wake us. When we are tempted to lash out, center us. Let our no be clear, our yes luminous, and our actions weave a field where every being is seen. And so we do consecrate our resistance as an expression of your indwelling love. And for this we are grateful, and we say amen. Say amen. Yeah. So we now come to that time in our service. See, we're at the bottom, then we're at the top, then we're at the bottom, we're at the top. We're at the top again. So I'm going to invite you to gather your resources. And I invite you to give generously to this moment, particularly if this is your spiritual community, whether you're at home or whether you're here in the room, whether you give through the text to give number or through cash or check. And these little cards are in front of you in the chairs in front of you. And I'd invite you, whether you're, especially if you're giving electronically, to hold it in your heart so that you're blessing your offering. I give willingly, joyfully, and lovingly, knowing that God is the constant source of my supply. I give with graciousness and receive with gratitude.
There is so much noise that calls for my attention, begging me to listen, but will I choose to listen? Old familiar sounds of doubt and fear and anger, they threaten me with danger, but will I run from danger? 'Cause when I know you love me is when I find that I'm free to love the way you love me, love the way you love. Love me, the loudest voice I hear, the loudest voice I hear, the loudest voice I hear. And love is drowning out my fear, it's drowning out my fear, it's the loudest voice I hear. There's really just one word that says what we're all seeking. Love is what we're needing. Yes, love is what we need. It meets us where we are and pulls us back together. Love's the only answer. Yes, love's the only answer. Love is the loudest voice I hear, the loudest voice I hear, the loudest voice I hear. And love is drowning out my fear, drowning out my fear, it's the loudest voice I hear. One, three. Love be the loudest, love be the loudest, love be the loudest voice I hear. Love be the loudest, love be the loudest, love be the loudest voice I hear. So when I know you love me is when I know that I'm free to love the way you love me, love the way you love. Love is the loudest voice I hear, the loudest voice I hear, the loudest voice I hear. And love is drowning out my fear. It's drowning out my fear. The loudest voice I hear.
Keep your hands above your head.
Love be the loudest, love be the loudest, love be the loudest voice I hear. Love be the loudest, love be the loudest, love be the loudest voice I hear.
Nice. Jen Bowles. Yeah.
So as our prayer chaplains come on up, let us put a final blessing on the offering. And so we give thanks for the generosity of this community and all who give, whether you're here in person, all those joining online. And we see these gifts going forth to bless this community and the wider world and returning to each giver in expected and unexpected ways. And so it is. Amen. Amen. And so I just want to do a call out to those that are joining us online, just a few of the folks. So Diana joining us from Kenmore, Patricia, Margaret from Corvallis, Mike and Diane up in Linwood. Hi, Mike and Diane. Belinda in Greenwood, Susan in Hillman City, Diana in Kenmore, Casey, Deborah, Terry, Nolan, Diane T., Faith, Marcia, Patricia, Stephanie, Scott, Louise, and Wes Lynn, and so many more. So we are so grateful to our folks that join us online as well. And so I ask now that we center in our hearts again as we join together in prayer for those that have requested prayer. And so we call forth divine order unfolding in the lives of Cindy and Lourdes, Anne and Jill. We give thanks for divine guidance, leading Sabrina and Author, Aaron and Marcia. We give thanks for healing unfolding for Susan and Marcia, Michael and Charlie. We hold in light and love Aaron and Peter, Anne, Jill and Zachariah, Arrow and Pam, Yasuko and Verla. We call forth divine order, healing, and guidance in the lives of Ellen and Sheila, Dennis, Dean, Susan and Ralph, Mitch and Andy. We surround in love and light Mike and Reggie, Joe and Lori, Susan, Cheryl and Nicole, Ryan, Mary, April, Randy, Larry, Joni, and John, and anyone else you know in need of prayer or a place. I invite you to speak it now. And we know there is no distance in spirit, and our prayers go forth to bless and lift up, and so it is. And we join now in our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Alexander. Let's sing a closing song together. We'll stand one more time. If you'd like to hold hands, you may, but it's unity. You're allowed to not hold hands. It's okay. It can seem like so many of us are in one direction, right? That it can seem like, oh, it's not okay. It's okay to be different. It's unity, which is ironic, I suppose, right? Let there be peace.
Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there